your socks! Hey!
The Lost Art with Andrew Cox podcast. Marine Corps League and Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. Now streaming on all major podcast platforms. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast as giving a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, that podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're having a fireside chat with the crew and special guests. But before we get in the episode, are you enjoying the podcast? And make sure you go to the website. That's thelostart.podbean.com. Go check us out, see what we're all about. If there's any way you can help us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear, it'd be much appreciated. Also, a big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about that amazing organization, go to their website. That's tillvalhallaproject.com. And as always, for all you jarheads out there, once you get out of the Marine Corps and you go on to your civilian life, there is something for you. That's right. It's called the Marine Corps League. So go check them out at mcleague.org. Join up and let's get their numbers up. Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps Veteran Service Organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member. All right, with that, I got the crew and our special guests here. We'll go ahead and go round robin. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing outstanding, Andrew. It's another great day here in Southern California, even though it's raining. Got a couple of atmospheric rivers, as they say, coming to hit us. Get a lot of rain. But
it's good to hear. Well, Mark's doing really well. So, Mike, how about you? How you doing?
What I want to say to compliment Mark, I can't say because it's a podcast, so I don't want to. But no, I'm doing good, Andrew. I'm doing good. It's been a decent week. Nothing, just regular week of work.
Yeah.
Got a new boss, so having to do everything and anything and online training and a whole lot of good stuff. But
yeah, you even
complain.
have to do the online training whenever you get out. Apparently, man, that's rough. Yeah. So what is it? Do you have to do the loose lips, sink ships, and what was some of the other quotes that they had? Is that what it is?
That in the corporate world's called, well, at least for the company I work with, it's called careful communications.
Oh,
that's
careful
the loose
communication.
lip sync ships, But
okay,
that
I like it.
There's a lot of things. It's like records management, and I'm like, it's like I don't maintain any records, or there's nothing that I'll ever email that's going to be put on a legal hold. I don't understand why I'm taking this, but I'm having to take it. Other stuff is like forklift training and certification and, the good stuff, like CPR, first aid, which is always a good thing because it's first aid is, one of those things that everybody needs to know. But as we were talking earlier, CPR has changed over the years as to what you're supposed to do now, what you're not supposed to do. So
that's right.
That and electrical training, even though I deal with electrical stuff, I don't deal with, a million volts of electricity on anything I deal with. But it's, I'm having to go through all that good stuff and get certified in that too. So,
well, that's fun. Yeah. And of course, what is your song of choice as you are performing CPR?
Well, that was one thing I was talking to my wife about because she's a nurse and she's used to teach it. And there's a whole bunch of them out there. But she said when she was taught CPR, even in high school, and, we met in high school, I'm 51. She's going to be, I shouldn't say this, the 16th of this month, this Sunday, she'll be 48, forever 29, but she taught me that years ago, was the Bee Gees. Well, you can't tell by the way you use my hook, so there's
nothing wrong with that.
If you follow that, you're within the right rhythm at that point. So every time I've ever thought about it, it's like even doing a training and stuff like that, I start singing it, and the instructor looks at me like, "The hell are you doing?" I'm
He's
like,
over there jamming
"I'm
out as
just,
he's
I'm
doing
just,
it.
I'm doing chest compressions. No time to talk."
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we got a couple of two new faces here. We got Ken Risley and we got Chris Schott. How you gents doing? Are you there? Testing 1 2 3. Hello. I lost them. They're not there anymore. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, I hear one of them. Who's that?
That's Chris. Yeah.
There's
Ken,
Chris. All
there
right,
we go.
Chris.
We
Oh
both
Yep.
man,
made
what
the rookie
happened?
Doing well today. Yeah. Glad to be here, that's for sure.
Yeah, a couple guys I served with back at Lejeune, as we've been scolded many times to say it that way. But of course, everyone still says Lejeune. So, but yeah, back at Lejeune in the Second Marine Division band there. But how you been doing, Ken? And then give us a little overview of your career, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I've been doing great. It's been nice this past week to have a little bit more light than 5 o'clock at night. That's been a nice change of pace for the daytime.
Yeah.
So yeah, we served together, second Mar Div. I was a clarinetist. Spent a little bit of my time injured, so I worked heavily in PAO, taking pictures and making historical evidence for the band, getting all the socials up and running. Ended up taking some of the drum majoring gigs. Did Sergeant Major Zigfus's change in command or relief and appointment. That was nice. um, I was I was fortunate enough to be a part of the crew that went overseas to do the the
Is that France for Bellawood?
Bellawood, and we did the
Mhm.
Horse Guards parade. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a great time while I was in. Met a lot of great people. I still talk to a lot of them. Still keep in touch. The bonds we made while we were in Brotherhood was incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then now where are you at?
So I'm in Florida now. Live in West Palm Beach, so South Florida.
Okay.
It's nice and warm down here right now.
I bet it is.
And past few years, I've been focusing on getting my degree in professional golf management.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
allowed me to be on a golf course. Through tuition too, which is nice because the GI Bill covers it. I get to play golf for free. So I've
Man,
put
that's
in quite a
horrible.
few rounds. Yeah. We'll say 2 years ago I did the math, and with all the free golf, if I would have paid for it, it would have been well over $50,000 in one
Oh my
year.
God.
It was
Wow.
insane. Yeah. Um, but I've used that to network really well within the golf industry. I've opened up my own golf academy where I teach mindfulness first. I teach elite juniors. And so I work with them to get tournament ready, where golf
Mhm.
is way more mental than anything.
Yeah.
And people say that, but then when you're in the golf industry and you realize it and you make that click, it's way more mental than people even think, and it's insane.
Mm.
Um, and then recently started a new venture with a nonprofit. Uh, it's
Yeah.
called it's called Vetilepsy, and it's geared towards veterans with epilepsy. I think we're going to talk about that here soon. So if we want to
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
pass
Okay.
over to
Well,
Christopher.
all right, Chris. Now we said before everyone had joined us that we have a generational thing going on here, and Chris didn't even know it, but walking into it. But of course, Mark was my sergeant major when I was a drill instructor, and when I was a drill instructor, there was a young recruit named Chris Schott, who was he wasn't in my platoon, but I did get to give him a hard time from time to time, especially whenever we found out he was a musician and I was a musician. So of course we had to do that. But Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well, just getting through the week here. So, yeah, glad to be here, like I said. And yeah, the drill instructor thing, it's a great story. And even further beyond that, my series commander at one point during boot camp came in and was like, one of your drill instructors has the same MOS as you, maybe you'll end up in the same unit. And I was like, no way, that's impossible. I don't even know who this guy is. Sure enough, 2 months after I check in, here comes Gunny Cox. And I don't think he had an office set up yet, but he walks in the door. He's like, Lance Corporal Shot, get to my office. I'm like, this guy doesn't have one yet. What the heck? No, yeah. So it was good. But yeah, I ended up spending 3 years there at Lejeune, did a lot of fun stuff, learned drum majoring from a lot of great folks, including the great Gunny Cox at the time. So that was a great part of my career there. And then I got out. I had an unusual track, I guess you could say. So I got out for a couple of years, re-enlisted in 2016. Went on to Cherry Point at the Second Mob Band. Did some more drum majoring out there. Did Mardi Gras. That was a ton of fun. Under Aaron Golden, learning from him. He's phenomenal and just a character to be around. But yeah, so he let me do a Mardi Gras parade. That was pretty fun. So after that, I went on recruiting duty. One of the crazy ones, volunteered for it. I know, but did that
buddy.
for 3 years, and after that, I ended it and did recruiting in the civilian world for the last few years, and that's been fun. But I hung that up a bit ago, going back to school, and now I work at a golf course. So it's quite the turn of events going on. But yeah, I'm having a good time out here. I'm in Tampa, Florida too, so
okay,
nice and sunny for me as well, and definitely turn it into beach season here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's beach season pretty much right now, isn't it?
Yeah, you could probably say that.
Yeah,
the Gulf is always warm.
We've both been in Florida long enough that when it gets into the 60s, it's kind of chilly.
Right?
Yep, the Gulf of America is quite warm.
Right.
On my side. Ken gets the Atlantic, so maybe not as warm. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little colder on the Atlantic side, I believe.
It sure is.
Well, I was just down there a couple of weeks ago, and our shop is in Sebring, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you got the races going on this week and everything in that area, but it was like, dang, it is hot down here compared to even I live in Southwest Georgia. They're like, yeah, it's still not, there. And the one guy in the shop there, he's like, yeah, my pool isn't warm enough. It's not hot enough to go swimming. And it was like 78 degrees. And I was like,
oh, geez.
Dude, I said, dude, you really realize if you lived up north, there'd be people cannonballing at that right now? He's like, nah, it's not warm enough down here. You have to get in the swimming pool. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, if the temperature starts with a 6, you can guarantee I'm in a sweater now. I've been here long enough.
Yeah,
very nice.
People in that area have vests, and all the ladies got Uggs on and all that walking around.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know, you'd feel like you're being in New York in January with how cold how people are dressed down here.
Now, y'all were too far south. You didn't get any of the snow, did you?
No, thank goodness.
No. It was up in the Panhandle though. Tallahassee had some, and that's crazy.
We did get pretty. I mean, it did get down to like 43 for a few nights there when that cold front came. It got pretty cold. I got
down to 32 where I was. And
wow, how'd y'all survive it? I mean, that's
had to bring back my Kansas City roots and
is that what it was?
Yeah, I dug out my Gore-Tex.
I dug out the Gore-Tex. I love it. All right. Well, hey, talk to us a little bit about the nonprofit. Let's go into that and tell us what you got going on.
So this actually comes from a personal story. During training, I hit my head real hard, and I'm sure, as all of us know, if you go to medical, you're getting held back. I was reminded of that. I was very close to graduation, and I was reminded very heavily, hey, are you good? If you're not good, go. But wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you go, you're probably going to get held back with a head injury. So I pushed through, kept on going. Nothing came of it. So I was great. I did my whole enlistment, got out 2015. I became a habitual entrepreneur, and I was loving life. 2021, I moved to Texas, moved in with this bald-headed guy over here. And after a few months, out of nowhere, just bam, started having seizures. It was life-changing. I went to the ER, countless hours with doctor's appointments, brain scans, EMGs, EEGs, and all of those hours led to one thing, and all the doctors just said epilepsy. That's all they could tell me.
Yeah.
And finding out how hard it is to diagnose epilepsy and what part of the brain is firing incorrectly and when it's firing is from my understanding from all the teams of doctors I've worked with, from Dallas to all the way to West Palm, is it's a guessing game. And it's
Mm.
really hard for doctors to pinpoint stuff like that unless they have you on a machine while you're having a seizure. So when it comes to people like in my case where I was having seizures kind of intermittently, it was hard to be in that situation, and be with the doctors. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of questions, me asking them and just not getting answers. And then it came to medication, and I'm sure Chris remembers this. When I went through 3 medications in 3 months, and each one of them made me sick in a different way. I mean,
Mm.
first one, I lost 40 pounds in 2 weeks, and that was
Jeez.
after losing 90 pounds in 9 months. So I was deathly sick. The second one, I couldn't sleep. There was just a plethora of problems. And finally we just decided to sit on this one medication where the downside is every now and then I just throw up whenever I take it, but it
Yeah.
seems to help. So you get told you can't drive a vehicle.
Mm.
Things I love to go to, like concerts and video games, they became a thing of my past. Couldn't enjoy them anymore. But the worst part about all of this was just the daily stress of not knowing when the next one was going to come.
Right.
Um, it became a huge fear in my life, and I'm really glad Chris was there through all of this. But it's been years now, and still there's few more answers than I had, but not enough answers to really diagnose 100% this is why you have epilepsy.
Right.
So I started doing some research and realized that epilepsy is a lot more common than I thought. I just never grew up with it around my life or in my family. About
Right.
1 in 29 people end up getting epilepsy in their life, and veterans are at a much higher risk because of the flashing lights, the loud noises, the TBI, the trauma, the PTSD. Everything can incorporate into epilepsy. And so I was
Interesting.
thinking one day, just driving down the road, stressing if I'm going to have a seizure, because I have these triggers. My body gets real hot. I start to have these head pains, and so I kind of have these symptoms that show up before. I call it the golden ticket of epilepsy, because not everyone knows when they're going to happen, but I kind of have
Oh,
it
right.
in seconds before they happen.
Okay.
Um, but not everyone has that luxury. So I'm driving one day and I'm like, you know what? I want to help my brothers and sisters that have this issue, because every single veteran, you can't join the military with epilepsy. It's an instant black flag.
Right.
So every veteran that has epilepsy either was diagnosed with it while they were in or after they got out. And it's
Mm.
and most likely due to something while they were in, or some sort of service connected or close to service connected issue.
Right.
So I started thinking about these things that help me. First thing first was through ride shares, like corporate ride share accounts and everything. I was told I couldn't drive for 6 months and put in a situation where I had to make a decision. That decision was, do I risk it and drive knowing my condition to go
Right.
to work to make money to support my family and put food on the table, pay my bills, or do I follow the doctor's orders, take a Lyft and Uber to work, or rely on friends and exhaust all of those opportunities and pay for rides to and from work just to
Right.
get to and from work? You know what I mean?
Right.
At that
Yeah.
point, you're just going to work to pay for rides to work and back.
Mhm.
And so I risked it. But I tried to lift when I could. Chris drove me around when he could, but there was times where I just had to risk it, and
Yeah.
it wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling. So I want to make sure that any veteran that has epilepsy can get to and from wherever they need to go at no charge to them. Um,
Right.
there's also these things my girlfriend actually uh, introduced me to them. They're epilepsy glasses. So, like I said, for a while I couldn't go to concerts. I had to leave a few of them. I had a seizure outside the front doors of a concert because the flashing lights just got too intense.
Yeah.
She did some research and found these glasses, and last October we went and saw Morgan Wallen in Tampa, and I was able to sit through the entire concert and enjoy it because of these glasses that I had on.
Yeah.
And so these are just another thing I want to get for our brothers and sisters. I want them to have these glasses at their disposable or at their disposal so they can use them.
Right.
And then anything from housing assistance to my favorite, I recently got paired with a service dog, and he's changed my life.
Mm. Wow.
From the place called Big Dog Ranch right here in West Palm, they train service dogs for free for veterans, and
Mm.
they do it. It's not just a here's your service dog, here you go. It's a you bond with the dog for 6 times, and then you do months of training, and then that's all before you even get the dog in your house, and then you go on and you get the dog in your house and you continue training, and in the process of training my dog to smell my chemical changes, and he's going to alert me before I have a seizure. The
Wow.
things they do are incredible, and they've committed to being our dedicated service dog handlers and trainers to get every veteran that has epilepsy a service dog.
Yeah. And that's a big deal for them to be able to sense it and know, smell it or whatever it is that they do, know that it's coming and be able to alert you.
It's a huge deal. And I've gotten really lucky with my dog. We bonded so well. It was kind of like a match made in heaven. We haven't even really started the scent training yet because luckily, for my sake, I haven't had a seizure since I've had him. Because what you need to do is you need to swab your mouth so that you get the chemical changed, and that's how they smell it.
Right.
But I had a seizure scare, which is kind of like in how I would describe it is everything leading up to the seizure without the seizure.
Right.
And I had one of those about a month ago, and he came up to me and just was acting real weird, maybe like 30 seconds before I had those scares. And I didn't realize till, half hour later, I was thinking like, why was he acting? Oh, he's already so in tune with my body that these dogs are incredible at what they're doing. He
Yeah.
already was sensing something was off in me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So and that's one of the things, and then we're offering to one of the things we want to do is we want to just offer a blanket grant. It's going to be called the Risley Grant, and it's going to be you apply for it. You're a veteran. You have a DD-214 and some sort of diagnosis of seizures or epilepsy, TBI, anything. We have a pretty large scope of service that we're going to offer to the veterans, and the sky's the limit. I mean, if you're, maybe you've got child support payments, and because of epilepsy, you haven't been able to work as much, and you're falling behind. We'll help you out. We
Yeah.
just want to we want to foster not only a more free life for these veterans, but just a life that they had before all of this, as close
Yeah,
to.
absolutely. And this is one of the things that I haven't even thought about, to be honest with you. And unless you are probably in and actually having seizures and stuff, you probably don't even. It's something you don't even think about, right?
That's how
Uh,
my life was until my first one. I mean, I knew what epilepsy was. I learned about it in science. I learned about it in school, but like
right.
I don't think I had ever seen a seizure. I'd never been around someone that had a seizure, understood
Hmm.
the mechanics of it or anything. And then not only having to learn about it, but having to learn about it while it's happening to me was just, I mean, I can't imagine all of these people that are doing this is insane. So
Yeah.
we want to help them.
Now, and there's a fairly new thing that you started, right? I mean, you started it what last year?
Correct. We started at the end of last year.
Okay.
We got our tax our
The
501(c)(3) status,
501c.
yep,
Yeah.
at the beginning of this year, and we have a great team of attorneys that's helping us out throughout the whole every step of the way. Um, and we have an event coming up, Chris. If you want to kind of explain what we're doing with that.
Yeah, so we're looking at doing a fundraising event sometime in September, October timeframe. Essentially, we're gonna have a golf tournament, and we're gonna have 60 teams of four. So there's gonna be quite a few people playing. It's
Wow.
gonna be like a buy-in. Of course, the money that comes in from that is all donated. Among various other things, we're gonna have raffle prizes there. There's gonna be a luncheon, a dinner. We're looking at adding a gala to it. seeing how that pans out. So there's just a lot that we want to do, and the goal is raising $1 million our first go around. It's going to be necessary to go that far, just because the cost is going to be so high per veteran that we do want to help. We want to help as many as we can. That way we can get this thing going and start, spreading the good word. So that's a brief rundown of it. I guess if you want to go into how a Stableford tournament works, you can do that. But aside from that, that's the run of it.
We came up with kind of a catchy name for it. Since it's for veterans, we figured we could use some dark humor, and we call it the Seize the Day Stableford.
Yes. It has to be dark
I
humor.
like it.
First annual Seize the Day. We've got huge plans for it, and the plans keep growing. We've actually grown a couple corporate sponsors for the project already. One of them's Flight Path. They're a golf tee company. They've agreed to be one of our corporate sponsors, and they've also agreed to make a platinum golf tee for us that we're going to raffle off. So the wholesale cost on this tee is $22,000.
Oh my God.
It's incredible that they're willing to do this, and we're gonna hopefully raffle it off and have some sort of maybe cool, like, hey, whoever gets this is the first platinum tiered donor member or whatever. We're still coming up with all the logistics, but and then we're working with a couple media companies too to help get our name out there. I've got a couple pros, so it's ironic. My girlfriend's been so clutch in all of this because she teaches kindergarten and preschool, and one of her students, his father happens to play and live golf. So his wife has all but said he'll play in your tournament. We're just trying to set up a meeting time to make sure it works for their schedule, and they're not going to be out of town. And we're hoping to get a couple pros there, maybe a couple social media influencers, some YouTube golfers, maybe some PGA Tour pros if it gets this big, and raffle off the ability to have them on your team too. And so it's going to be a huge, and we're going to have vendors there. We plan on having a whole day thing where it's not only the tournament, but we're, like Chris was talking about, brunch, the gala, maybe a dinner, long drive contest under the lights. And we have another corporate sponsor who's offered to donate his 1,000 drones and give us a drone light show at the end of the day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys already have it planned? You guys already have it set up?
It's not all set up. We are piecing it together piece by piece with all the companies that we're working with. Our next big hurdle that we're working on right now is locking in what golf course. We've got a couple that we're in the process of talking to, just trying to figure out which one's going to work the best for that day and which one has the availability for us. Obviously.
And that's down in Florida.
We're going to have it down in probably West Palm area. We might have it on the west side if we can talk a course into there, but it just seems like there's going to be a better shot of a course being available if we do it over on my side of the state.
But do you have anything set up already as far as anything online, a name, anything?
Yeah, so our name is
I'm
Vetilepsy.
I'm not trying to push it.
Oh,
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Good question. We're actually getting into that this weekend.
So
we're
the name
doing
is
a trip to head up to shoot some video for it. Like Kim was saying, it's called Vetilepsy, and that's going forward. We got to get this website up, so that's the next thing that we're working on. Literally this weekend, it should be up. I don't know, Ken, a week or two later. But as soon as that's up, then we're taking in donations and all sorts of other stuff. So
very nice.
That's a huge weekend coming up for us. We're going to Savannah, Georgia for that. Our media guy lives up there. So we were like, we'll just come to you and do it all at once. And it's for us, it's only a 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So it's not
ended up being super convenient for us.
Yeah. Very nice.
But yeah,
you're wanting to call it Vetilepsy.
Yeah, so it's a mixture between the words veterans and epilepsy.
Yep.
And then it makes it kind of rolls off the tongue nicely when you say Vetilepsy, a foundation for veterans with epilepsy is kind of our tag that we've been working with.
Yeah, that's good.
and yeah, we're really excited to see where this brings. And how many people we can help. We've been doing some reverse engineering, kind of figuring out how much each veteran is gonna cost, essentially a year.
Yeah.
And like Chris said, $1 million is really only going to be about 20 veterans.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, we've learned that to get everything from ride shares to housing and job placement assistance, all of this, and allowing them just the freedom of life that they had before. It's gonna
Mhm.
be a task that is not going to be easy, but
Yeah.
we've all put our heads together, and Clapper's on the team too. He couldn't make it
Yeah.
tonight. But we've put our heads together, and we all truly believe in this cause. And I don't think we've met someone that hasn't believed in it either. Everyone's super excited about it.
Very nice. I'm digging it. And then now, Mark, on the West Coast, I know you've gone to and have seen golf tournaments and stuff for fundraisers and stuff on the West Coast quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. A lot of the organizations that we're in, they all have a golf tournament as far as a fundraiser. And I've actually, friends have been involved in that Farmers Open,
Oh yeah.
at the Torrey Pines.
Mm-hmm.
The with Pro-Am. So I know you're probably wanting to do something like the Pro-Am where,
Yep.
you're playing with some celebrity.
Yeah, that's kind of one of
Uh,
the things we want to offer too, because I know if I mean if you get I know it's probably impossible for the first one, but just for reference sake, if Tiger Woods shows up, people are going to pay money to play with him. You know what I mean?
oh,
Even
Yeah.
without
if
a doubt.
but any PGA Tour pro, people are going to want to play with them just for the experience.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. Yeah. I wish I could point you in the right direction to one, but I got nothing.
It's called cold calling.
That's not your
Cold calling,
wheelhouse
cold
there.
emailing.
That's
That's
definitely not my wheelhouse,
that's what's going on.
Oh,
Oh, man. Man, sounds great. I mean, I like what you got going on. And what time frame were you looking at to do the tournament?
so we were originally thinking November, and that's still on the table because that is the month of epilepsy.
Mm.
So it would be kind of cool to have it in that month. But with how Florida works and how the season works, that kind of gets into golf courses starting to get busier. So we might be pushing it into maybe October, late September, just so we have a course that's willing. It's hard to get a course that's willing to give you their course for an entire day. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a very
Yeah.
hard, especially in South
And
Sure
we're
Florida.
is.
looking
So
at
Yep.
needing two courses.
yeah,
So
and we might even need two with how we're trying to do this. So
Yeah.
so that, like I said, that's our next hump we're trying to conquer right now.
Right.
And but man, this every time we make a turn, we keep getting reminded that we're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. Someone out of the blue just says, "Hey, I really like your idea," or we were having an issue a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago with trying to get a question answered, and then out of the blue, it was just like it just came to us. And it's just we keep getting these almost
just have to
daily or weekly
manifest it.
it's like we manifested it. No matter what, it's gonna work, and it's a
Yeah.
great feeling that we have.
Very nice. I'm digging that. Yeah. Man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see if there's anything I can do to help you guys out. Let me know. But I'll put out my call to the small network that I have at least, and see if I could get you some help. But yeah, I like what you got going on. It's a great cause, and it's something that I never thought about. Personally. So I think it's a great deal because there are people out there that need the help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even one person, if someone networked through any of you, please connect them so that we can at least reach out to them and answer, get some questions answered. We want to know what it is they need on a daily basis, and that's going to
Yeah.
take into part how we afford. So,
Yeah.
one person's is what we're looking for right now. One
Yeah, we're
more.
looking
Yeah.
for anybody and
We'll take
anybody.
anything.
Just veterans that have epilepsy, people that have epilepsy, anything that corporate sponsors, individual sponsors, anybody and anybody that's willing to help out the cause right now.
Very nice. All right. Well, you guys heard it here first, right? So we're gonna get it out there, and we'll hopefully get you some help. Well, hey, man. As we approach the end of the podcast, we always do what we call words of wisdom. So I don't know how wise you guys are. You seem wiser than me, so it should go over pretty well. But Mark is always the one that comes up last, right? You leave it to the sergeant major that's going to have the good ones at the end. He's always got some humdingers for us. But yeah, I'll let Mike go first, and then Ken, Chris, whichever one of you want to jump in after him. But this is words of wisdom.
Okay.
All right, Mike, what do you got? Don't tell me you ain't got nothing. You look, this is going to be easy to beat him to this tonight.
Yeah, Mark's going to get me tonight, but it was actually, I was talking to my daughter tonight. My daughter has that weird Marine Corps sense of humor sometimes. And it was the other night I was talking to her about something, and I'm not going to get into the whole topic. She's up in Knoxville, Tennessee. She just got her a bachelor's in pre-vet med, applying to vet school. She wants to be a vet. Extremely loving, compassionate person, but my son's the same way. But unfortunately, according to my wife, they still share my Marine Corps sense of humor with the way I say things, And I was just kind of, she called me, was asking me a question, and I talked to her, and I was just kind of, I wasn't venting about something. I was just blah, 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 this and this and that. She goes, Dad, you never know what anybody's going through on any given day. She said, sometimes you just have to stop and appreciate where you're at and just be nice. And I was like, are you my daughter? And she goes, yes. She goes, Dad, I've watched you more times than not. Literally look at some, I didn't even think about it. I'm going to get teary-eyed now saying it, but it was a Christmas time. She was home, and we were somewhere, and it was just some young girl was having it was at the grocery store, bad time. It was just her and I, and she, beautiful blue eyes. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
And I said, well, I hope you have a good day. She goes, yeah, it hasn't been real good. And I said, well, you made my day really good. And she goes, why is that? And I said, I know this is going to sound weird. I said, but you have beautiful blue eyes, just like my grandmother. And it reminded me of better times.
Yeah.
And, my daughter said that to me. She's like, just like that, Dad. You had a moment of being a nice guy. And I was like, yeah, okay. Thanks.
You had the moment of being a nice guy.
Sorry being an old crusty Marine, but then all of a sudden I remember something like that, and it was like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
She said, nice. You don't know what anybody else is going through. Her point was she said she was having a bad day. You weren't in the best of moods, but by you saying that, you put a smile on her face, and it made you feel better.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's all it takes.
I like it. Yeah, that was good. That was really Mark. Good job. Good luck, Mark. That's all I got to say. Let's go around. All right, Ken, you want to go next?
Yeah. So when you said we were going to do something about words of wisdom, and I've been listening to some of your podcasts, trying to figure out what was I going to say for this. So it was a toss up.
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. There they come.
He's been studying.
All right. It was a toss up between two. So the best two quotes I could think of by the best two people I could think of, right?
All right.
One of them is Socrates. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing.
That's good. That's good.
It's great, but I don't know if it's as good as stay motivated and change your socks.
Hey man, that's a good one. Yeah, I love that you have the sticker though. That's nice. I'm digging it. You
Oh,
got it on
I
your
carry it
water
with me
cup.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Oh man,
Oh,
that's good. All right, Chris, what do you got?
I've got a little story. Have you guys ever heard about the Master Samurai story and the student? No? Okay. So
I don't think so. Go ahead.
there's a Master Samurai and the student, he's got a new student. The student goes up and he's like, "Sir, how long is it going to take me to become a Master Samurai like you if I work really hard every day and do everything you tell me to, right?" And the Master Samurai's like, "Oh, 10 years or so." Student goes back, sleeps for the night, comes back the next day after he thought about it. He goes, "Sir, what if I work twice as hard during that same
Mm.
time frame? Will I reach it twice as fast?" He goes, "No, it'll take you 20 years." And the student's confused. Of course, the Master Samurai is like trying to teach him a lesson. He goes, "If you have one eye fixed on your destination, you only have one eye left to find your way." It's like
Ooh,
something I've thought about quite frequently recently. Um, just kind of is, working with Ken on this foundation, really diving into it, just kind of keeping your vision fixed on keeping the main thing is really what it is.
yeah.
So that one kind of hit home for me. I heard it recently and just wanted to bring it here.
Man, that's a good one. I like that. Man, Mark, you were in trouble. I'm telling
yeah.
you, I hope you pull out deep in your book of knowledge there, somewhere way back. It better be a good one, Mark. I don't know.
Well, once again, we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. So
Okay, yeah.
all I have is a great Irish toast.
All right. I like it.
All right. May the winds of fortune sail you. May you sail a gentle sea. May it always be the other guy who says, "This drink's on me."
Cheers to that.
That was
Cheers to
good.
that.
That was good. I'm digging it. Oh man. All right, Ken, Chris, thanks for coming on. Vetilepsy. Of course, you'll have the website up, and once you do, let me know. That way I can post it and
Absolutely.
push that out. But you guys are doing fantastic. Thanks for what you're doing out there. I appreciate it. Last words, if you got anything that you'd like to say to anybody.
No, I just really appreciate you having us on here, Andrew. That was a nice offer from you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely appreciate
absolutely.
it. It's been a
It's
blast.
a phenomenal thing you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
that.
If you guys,
And you
like I
guys,
said,
and again, I hate to cut you guys off, but you guys are both over in the Tampa, West Palm Beach area.
yes.
I'm in Tampa.
Okay.
He's in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, it's been nice having you on. You have to come back sometime, visit, and let us know, especially when you get closer to the tournament and stuff like that. We'll have you back on so you can talk a little bit more about it and try to do some fundraising for it or something on the podcast. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
thanks for coming on. Thanks for doing this. My cat just came up to say hi. Uh, Mike, Mark, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on as well. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net and click on the chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. Ken, Chris, Mark, Mike, they care about you. My cat also apparently cares about you. But if you're out there, you're struggling, or you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies that you served with, ask them how they're doing, and if they need that helping hand, please give it to them. All right, fellas, one last time, thank you guys for coming on and doing this. Much appreciated. To all the listeners, stay motivated, change your socks.